All right, let's talk about something called the production effect. This is a fascinating little brain hack that helps you actually remember what you read. And it all starts with a problem I am sure you've run into. Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You've just spent a few minutes reading an article, maybe a chapter for school or work. Your eyes definitely moved across all the words, but you get to the end of the page and poof, it's just gone, a total blank. Hey, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It's not a sign that you have a bad memory or anything. It's just kind of how our brains work when we're just passively taking stuff in. Let's call it the leaky brain problem. The details just slip right through. But what if there was a really simple way to fix that? Well, there is, and it's a super simple but really powerful vocal memory hack. It's designed to plug those leaks and basically turn your brain into a retention machine. This quote pretty much nails it. The whole idea is to stop being a silent, passive reader. If you really want to lock something into your memory, you have to actively save the file, so to speak. And the key to doing that? It's your own voice. And look, this isn't just some random tip. It's backed by some solid science. It's called the production effect. Seriously, study after study shows that people who read things out loud have way better recall than people who just read silently. The act of actually producing the words, saying them, hearing them, it creates a memory that's just different. It's more distinct and a whole lot harder to forget. So how in the world does this actually work? Why is speaking so much more powerful? Let's get into the science of it by thinking about your brain in a new way, like it's a biological hard drive. Okay, so when you read silently, you're creating just one type of memory trace. It's purely visual. And honestly, it's pretty weak. It gets overwritten by the next thing you see really easily. But when you read aloud, you're lighting up so much more. You see the words, you physically speak the words, and you hear yourself say them. That whole multisensory experience is like a big flashing sign for your brain that says, hey, this is important. It creates a memory trace that's way stronger and more distinct. So your voice, it's basically the save button on this biological hard drive. It takes a fleeting idea from the screen and turns it into a solid piece of data that gets logged and stored for you to pull up later. It's the thing that stops all those key details from just vanishing. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking right now, so let's talk about that. It's time to reframe this habit. It's not something weird, it's a high-performance tool. Let's just put the elephant right out on the table. Talking to yourself, reading out loud in an empty room, doesn't that feel, a little bit weird? And that's a fair question, but the answer really depends on how you look at it. So instead of thinking of it as some odd quirk, let's just flip the script. Try thinking of your brain less like a storage unit and more like a high-performance engine. It's always running, always processing, trying to perform at its absolute best. And if your brain is a high-performance engine, then your voice, well, it's kind of like the verbal exhaust pipe. It's the mechanism that clears out all that mental fog, helps process information cleanly, and just keeps that engine running super efficiently. See, it's not weird at all. It's a sign of a mind that's firing on all cylinders. Okay, so you're on board. You get the science, you're cool with the whole high-performance engine thing. So how do you actually do this? Let's break it down into a super simple, actionable guide. It's really as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you choose. You don't have to read an entire book out loud. Just pick out the one key sentence, the one definition, the one number you absolutely have to remember. Second, vocalize. Don't just mumble it. Read it out loud, clearly, like you mean it. And finally, remember. That's it. Trust the process. You've just fired up the production effect, and your voice has officially hit save on your biological hard drive. So now the power is literally in your hands. And, well, in your voice. The next time you come across something you absolutely positively have to remember, you know exactly what to do. So the only question left is, what's the first thing you're going to teach your brain to remember for good?